Hey guys, we are making Claire Saffitz Focaccia Bread today. Welcome back to Never Tasted Better. My name is Sarah, and this is a new mini series that I am doing of testing famous people's recipes or testing viral recipes. Focaccia bread is considered an Italian style oven baked bread. It's very crispy, it's flatter than most breads, and it's delicious if done right. Now, those of you that do not know Claire Saffitz, she is a very famous chef. She was very famous when she was at Bon Appétit. I was a huge fan of hers back then when she was constantly struggling with all of these challenges that were thrown her way. Now that she has her own kitchen in New York and she's able to do whatever she wants, I'm even more a huge fan. I love her down-to-earth demeanor. She's very easygoing and easy to watch, and she's very knowledgeable about baking. At the end of this video, I will give you my thoughts on the recipe. I will rate it on Never Tasted Better scale of 1 through 10, 1 being the absolute worst, 10 being the best. With all that being said, let's jump right into it and get started. In this recipe, Claire calls for bread flour, a pinch of sugar, active dry yeast, olive oil, salt, and plenty of warm water. Let's get started and see how this goes. In a large standing mixer with some dough hooks attached, add your bread flour and also your warm water. We're going to mix this on a low speed until all that flour is absorbed. Now we're going to take off our dough hooks, cover this with plastic wrap, and set aside. Add your yeast to a half a cup of warm water. Also add in that pinch of sugar. Mix this to combine and let sit 10 minutes. Once 10 minutes is up, it's going to be all foamy and bubbly. We're going to take off our plastic wrap and pour all of that delicious foamy bubbly yeast right in. Cover and pulse to combine so your yeast mixture doesn't splash all over. Add in your salt and mix this on a medium speed for about 5 minutes until it's sticky and elastic. Add a quarter cup of olive oil to a large bowl, swirl it around, and we're ready to turn off our mixture. Take out the dough hooks. Pour this pancake-like batter into our olive oil coated bowl. It's going to be very difficult to get out. I found out it was very heavy. Coat the top of the dough in olive oil, cover it with plastic wrap, and set in a warm spot. Claire says to let it rest for 2 hours or until it's doubled in size. I specifically bought an 18 by 13 inch pan for this recipe. Coat it all over with olive oil. Now that our dough has risen in size, we can do the poke test. If it springs back, that's a great sign. That means it's ready. So we're going to deflate it by picking it up and stretching it, rotating the bowl. I coated my hands with olive oil before I did this, by the way. Make sure you do that or else the dough will stick to your hands and it will never come off. It's a very, very sticky dough. Pour all of the dough onto the prepared pan, stretch it out using your fingertips, and we're going to let this sit in the fridge for a few hours, or you can let it sit overnight. The longer it sits, the better. Oil your plastic wrap before you cover it. That's very important. Our toppings are simple. Claire just used garlic and rosemary in her recipe, so that's what we're going to do. I sliced some fresh garlic. Also, I didn't have fresh rosemary, so I used dried. I did about an equal-sized amount of both. I covered this with olive oil, about a quarter cup. Also, add in red pepper. I liked Claire's thought process on that. And we can just cover this until we need it. After our dough had a few hours in the fridge, I let it sit out at room temperature until it was risen to the top of the sides of the pan. And then I coated my hands with olive oil and we can dimple it all over. I had so much fun with this part. Very, very satisfying. I just couldn't stop. Once our dough has been dimpled, we're ready to spread out the infused seasoning all over the top of our dough. I used all of it. Honestly, you could do any kind of seasoning you want. I love this combination. Claire sprinkled plenty of fresh, flaky sea salt all over the top of the dough, so make sure you're generous with that part. Have your oven set to 450 degrees. Place him on the very bottom rack for 20 minutes, and then we're going to take him and place him on the top rack for another 15 minutes. Claire did this so the top would get a beautiful golden brown. Let's see if it works. I can tell you it smells amazing in here. Such a beautiful golden brown color, like she said. So far, everything seems to be going according to plan. Loosen it up using a long spatula, and then once it's slightly cooled off, we're ready to dig in. Listen to this gorgeous sound the bread makes. I'm really excited about this. Look at that delicious looking texture. If you want Claire's full recipe, I'm going to leave the link down in the description box. You just click on it. It'll take you right to her YouTube video. I am so excited to try this gorgeous focaccia bread. On the top is so gorgeous. It has a beautiful golden brown color, and also on the bottom is a beautiful golden brown color. Just look at those little air holes. It looks like it has a great texture. Overall, I'm really happy with it so far. Let's see how it tastes. That is so flavorful. It has such a beautiful soft texture on the inside, crispy on the outside. I can see why her video is called Soft and Crispy Focaccia Bread. I would give it a 9 out of 10. Yes, it's really, really good. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe down below. I am going on vacation next week, but I will see you soon in my next video. Bye guys.